What's going on, everybody? It's the Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric. And yes, we are back here tonight. The Orlando Magic facing the Memphis Grizzlies. Both teams with 2 wins. So it's going to be real interesting to see how both these teams fare tonight. The Magic coming off of losses. Yes, losses. So I'm really curious to see tonight how this team finds a way to get back on track. Now, let me be totally honest. I was not here for any of the pregame press conferences. I'm gonna defer to my man, Alex Fleming. Simply ask you one question, sir. Coach Clifford, what was his demeanor tonight addressing the media?
Coach Clifford's in good spirits. Guys, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, it's early, and no, it doesn't look good being 2-6. But this is why they played the game. They work on making their continuity with other players inside the organization better.
Okay.
Every day that you can practice, you grow. And it's a grind. We all knew this. Rome wasn't built in a day. 2-6 early in the season. I believe there's 74 minus this game, 73 more games to go.
All right.
Now, with that being said.
Okay, all right, here we go. Now, this is what I was waiting on.
Coach Clifford recognized the sense of urgency in his team because he knows he's in a dogfight. Bad history between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Orlando Magic.
Can I cut you real quick? So, I need to tell you a story before I let you go off on this. So, roughly about a decade ago, 10 years ago, I was given the opportunity to join some fellow friends of mine and come and be a part of media for the Orlando Magic game. Do you know who the team was we faced that night?
Memphis Grizzlies?
The Memphis Grizzlies. It's been 10 years, and ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, he's not on camera with us tonight, but he will be in the future. Dwayne Lindo is in the building here with us. This man has been instrumental in my own personal growth as being able to be a part of the media, so a big thank you to him, and when he's on camera, you'll understand why. This man has done it for almost 2 decades and is a true professional. But getting back to what you were saying about Memphis, I just had to put that in there.
I digress. When they played in Memphis last year, I believe Coach Clifford was tossed. He got ejected. And then at the end of last year, before the playoffs started, him and I got to see a classic where it took overtime to beat the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes.
Now, Dylan Brooks was coming off the bench, but he got the starting position because Conley was injured.
Okay.
And there was no John Morant. Fast forward to today. There's a nice load management when it comes to minutes. He's running an 11-man rotation. Dylan Brooks is the leading minute provider, plus one of the leading scorers. He's eating up 32 minutes, and he's got a hell of a shot. I told you guys last year he was a star. Ha, made you look. Oh, and by the way, add the guy from Murray State, John Morant, who's not afraid to yam it on anybody, and you got problems in your backcourt.
So these are 2 teams that we know each other exceptionally well. When you look at the dynamic of both of these teams, because on one hand you have the Magic, who have switched up their starting lineup. Now you're running out the All-Star in Vucevic, you're running out Evan Fournier, you're running out the 2-man power guys, if you will, in Gordon and Isaac. But now you're adding Markelle Fultz, a man who's got handles for days and eyes in the back of his head, meaning DJ Augustine's going to be your 6th man off the bench. Looking at this matchup tonight, Alex, I have to simply ask you a question. What's the vibe coming off of this team tonight? Which team do you feel, personally, is prepared more mentally and physically for this matchup?
I know I'm in Amway Arena, but I have to say the Memphis Grizzlies. Their guard play is fresh, like gelatin that's just about to gel. We all know how Valanciunas and Nikola Vucevic have their own little personal rivalry.
Yes.
Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't score 1 point against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they still beat the Timberwolves by 16. He was there in other ways. He's the 2nd biggest player on that Memphis Grizzlies squad. When this team starts to figure it out, Memphis could be a real headache for a lot of teams in the West. Plus, we need to use to our size to our advantage, but with that, Markelle Fultz, I do not like his matchup tonight, not with Brooks or with Morant. Look for them to try to set a tempo to where we're playing their game instead of playing ours.
So one last thing before we get out of here. Don't forget, folks, we've got halftime, we've got post-game analysis and locker room interviews. But you and I both know this. October 22nd, there was a young man by the name of Tony Allen. He went on the Chris Vernon podcast. And when asked about the Orlando Magic, he singled out two players. He singled out Evan Fournier, and he singled out Terrence Ross. And he said that basically he doesn't have to show up to pregame when he faces those two guys. I want to see tonight how Fournier and Ross respond, because I know, whether they want to admit to it or not, I know they heard what he had to say.
Let me calm your tempers a little bit. No Terrence Ross tonight, so basically this is for Fournier.
Okay, fair enough. Then I want to see Evan Fournier do very much like he did when he played overseas representing his country in the Olympics this past summer. I want to see him go out there and be a leader. I want to see him go out there and be a facilitator. And more importantly, I want to see him go out there and drop threes on Tony Allen.
If there is a part that the Orlando Magic can exploit against the Memphis Grizzlies, it is the three position. Vucevic has his hands full at the 5, and I'm worried about folks at the 1. But that nice big circle number 3, that's where the Magic can eat. Expect the 3 to eat tonight.
Fair enough. Folks, we'll be back at halftime. The Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric. We'll talk to you guys at halftime. See you then. What's going on, everybody? The Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric, and we're back here at halftime. Magic got a nice little lead on them, 51-48.
Not a comfortable lead. It is 51-48.
Okay.
Magic have more rebounds.
Yes.
Memphis has more assists.
All right, so a little bit of tit for tat, but we said that during the pregame that, you know, these two teams know each other very well. I want to talk about two things really quick. Did you notice that when Vooch and Valanciunas were together, Valanciunas was pretty much a non-factor? The Magic were able to score. Vooch kind of held him in check. Now, on the flip side of that, when you take Jackson Jr., you put him against J.I., it seemed like him and J.I. kind of matched up to where each one of them equaled each other out.
Jared Jackson had a yam.
He did.
On Jonathan Isaac.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but you did. Go ahead.
And Valanciunas and Vucevic got this thing going on. If you look at the stats,
all right,
Vucevic has 14 points. Valanciunas has 13 points. Gordon in the secondary role, he's done well with his 13, but in the secondary role, you got Jared Jackson Jr. with 10.
But here's the thing, though. Valanciunas didn't score a lot of those 13 until Vooch was on the bench.
Absolutely.
So that's why I said that matchup that's right there, it appeared to me that as long as Valanciunas and Vooch are on the court together, you give the advantage to Nikola Vucevic.
Stop me if you heard this one.
Again,
5 players with a 3 from Memphis. We are not protecting the perimeter. This has been an ongoing issue. They have 8 players that have scored. Now, Anderson only has a free throw, but he scored. Morant, Crowder, both with 5.
Okay.
I expect this to be a very explosive second half.
You think so?
I do.
I expected to see still more of a chess match that we have going on because, you know, up until the second quarter, the Magic seemed to have a nice control of this game, but then towards the, you know, from 10 minutes down to about 6, maybe even 5 minutes, that's when the Grizzlies went on this run. And so I was very interested to see if they were going to keep that momentum going. Magic kind of quickly came in and kind of stuffed that a little bit, took back the lead, which is conversely where we're at with this 3-point lead.
Gooderick hit a very confident 3. Like, if I'm open, I'm hitting it.
Okay.
Followed that up with Tyus Jones, who's been slashing in the paint. And then just when you don't protect the paint because of the outside shooting, you had Jared Jackson Jr. imposing his will down low.
He did.
If it wasn't for rebounds, I could see Magic in trouble. Because of the rebounds, it's a close game.
And I think that's what we're going to see. But that's the one thing that you and I have consistently talked about, has been the Magic needing to get more rebounds. They're doing that tonight, which is why they're up by 3. Folks, we're back at halftime. Actually, we're back at the end of the game. And one little side note, the young man that I spoke of, Tony Hill, no longer plays for Memphis. I guess he went on and retired. So I guess his comments were post his NBA career about playing against Fournier and Terrence.
Oh, Mr. Allen, Tony Allen.
Yeah, Tony Allen.
The
Thank
defensive guru.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyhow, we're back at the end with our post-game recap. Don't forget, we've got locker room interviews, post-game press conferences, the Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric. We'll see you guys at the end of the night.
Peace.
What's going on, everybody? Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric. And yes, we're back here at the end of the night. So, Magic coming away with a victory tonight. 32-point win over the Memphis Grizzlies, a team who we knew was going to be tough competition coming into tonight. But more importantly than that, Jonathan Isaac on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, from start to finish, probably, in my opinion, one of his more complete games from top to bottom.
21 points tonight. Hell of a defensive play.
Yeah.
We might be looking at another all-star in Orlando. Humble. Very humble.
Very humble. And only 2 years in the league.
Put on 20 pounds of muscle, and he's just a defensive prowess. Any defender that came across his way didn't have a lot of luck tonight.
Got shut down. I mean, and this whole team, Alex, you always talk about, stop me if you heard this one, 10 out of the 12 gentlemen who suited up tonight came away with a bucket for the Orlando Magic. 10 out of 12.
You're taking my lines, man.
I'm just saying, you're the one who always wants to throw it in somebody about what the Magic didn't do. Let's talk about what they did do tonight. And that was just play probably some of their best ball that we've seen over the first 9 games. And like we said, ladies and gentlemen, listen, yeah, they're 3-6. You got 73 games after tonight. You're in the Eastern Conference. You were the number 7 seed last year. I mean, this is just, when you put the pieces together, Orlando is a formidable team.
DJ Augustine had 11 points in the second half. He truly was the fire starter because he got it started after Evan Fournier hit back-to-back threes.
Oh, yeah.
He had 10 points in the second half. He had 19. Vucevic was consistent all night. 23 points, 16 rebounds. He's going to be a double-double machine again. This sets up perfectly a matchup with Indiana Pacers Sunday night. Get a little bit of confidence back. They got this homestand. They got the Knicks on Wednesday, and then they have another test in Pop next Friday.
San Antonio. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Are you forgetting? You just going to gloss over the fact that Philadelphia's coming to town?
I said that. Philadelphia's going to be here Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about somebody else. No, you said New York. You didn't say Philly. You said New York.
I said Philly.
You said New York.
See, you're thinking New York.
No, we're going to run the tape back because he just said New York. That's what he said. He said New York's coming in.
Philly's going to be in the house Wednesday. I expect it to be a capacity crowd.
Oh, yes.
We need to clip that victory on Sunday against Brogdon, Oladipo, and the Indiana Pacers.
Is Oladipo playing, though? Is he back yet?
Oladipo's not completely back yet, but they do have this guy named Miles Turner. He's an issue, too. Orlando sizes up well, and with the defensive prowess of Jonathan Isaac, I was worried coming into this game what Memphis was going to be able to do.
He was worried.
I was wrong.
Wow. Big words coming from my man Alex Fleming, but let me just say the one thing that I have been talking about all season long was probably the biggest positive of the night, and that, ladies and gentlemen, what I've been talking about, rebounds. 57 total rebounds for the Magic, 36 for the Memphis Grizzlies. That right there shows you that when you pick up these little things each and every time you go out on that court and you correct those mistakes, turns into victories. We're back here. You coming back Sunday?
I'll be here Sunday.
Sunday against Indiana. The Magic Perspective with Alex and Eric. Have a great Friday night, guys.
Peace.